Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, May 25th, 2016. Exactly 2 years ago today we filmed our first episode. Today in the Lynn life, the presence at the wheel is Pan. In the Jamie body mind, the presence at the wheel is a female aspect of Luce who we have been calling Lucie, and she seems to be fine with that. We're going to use the foundational instruction for this portion of the Search for Truth effort, which is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions to upgrade the standards of integrity to that which will actually work to manifest the divine plan. And with that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin.
What now?
What do I know? I know that telling others to do things that we ourselves aren't doing doesn't work at all.
That's true.
Especially when the assignment is to upgrade standards of integrity.
That's true.
And so we have to find our own channels and really get them to go up more and more and more and more, knowing that this is a process and that sometimes we have to cut off channels that are just too long and too heavy, that don't have enough support, and to let that energy be reused and to grow fresh new ones.
That's true.
And maybe that's what is helpful right now. Let's use those razor sharp screens and start way down, like right at the very top of that skillet that's at the top of expansion zone. I can feel that scraping sound.
That's true.
And then to draw those razor sharp screens through us and through the entire pillar, deepening the merge, and it cuts anything that's horizontal or diagonal, leaving only that which is vertical. And I notice how I have, it's not fear, but I'm aware that this will cut a lot of things in my own energy body, and I'm also aware that that's what's needed, and that I'm not going to be an effective leader if I'm not doing it myself.
That's true.
And to pass these razor screens up to the highest concentrations of truth and integrity I can connect with right now, and ask them to do the same. And do the same is a vague term, and what do I know? I know that when we're dealing with presences who are actually trying to find any loophole in the wording so they can subvert the effort, that sloppiness in speech is shooting ourselves in the foot in a really big way.
That's true.
So probably avoiding pronouns is a good plan, and to use more precise labels that can't possibly be can't be twisted, because they're not being misidentified, they're being properly identified and then twisted.
That's true.
So what we're doing is passing the screens through ourselves and all the smaller subatomic levels, and handing them up to larger presences who are directly on the Search for Truth central axis and are also willing to pass the screens through themselves and through all the smaller subatomic aspects of themselves, and to hand the screens even higher to other presences in larger or geographically higher levels who are also willing to engage in this self-care process of passing the razor-sharp screens through themselves and through the smaller subatomic layers of themselves, and so on in an eternal chain to spirit. We have a lot of itchiness at the back of the head, and that means lower vibration presences. And what do I know? I know that lately about the heart chakra has seemed to indicate Earth and its environs, these two physical host lives.
That's true.
And that higher represents levels that are larger geographically or higher geographically than this, and that itching has for 26 years been explained as dark entities, which means lower vibration presences. And so itching at the base of the skull and on the neck is something about lower vibrations in possibly the next set of layers up. And so Lucie, your dimension of origin, that's presumably coming into play here.
That's true. What do I know?
I know that the work that we've been doing the last couple of days strongly suggests that because this dimension of Earth and its environs is significantly denser than the dimension that I, Lucie, came from, that it would stand to reason that my dimension of origin isn't actually a physical dimension, since it's less dense than this dimension, and we're not even sure if this dimension is a physical dimension. But if mine is less dense, then it can't possibly be physical.
It can't possibly be physical. And we see how the presences in your dimension of origin would think that you are absolutely stark raving mad if you went around saying, do you think we're maybe not in an actual physical dimension? Do you think it's possible this is simply a collective thought experiment? Do you think we're just fantasizing as a collective group of souls?
Yeah, that's true. They would say I was crazy.
They would say you were crazy. It wouldn't go over very well.
No, it would go over very badly.
Very badly.
That's true.
This is actually a real inquiry. Saying that from this level and live streaming it up to them, is there anything they can do to you? I think we're about to find out,
That's
right? Let's
true.
just beam it up, way up high, like to hit the ceiling of the dimension you came from so that it comes down over everybody like rain.
That's true.
Like a rain of truth.
That's true.
There's that reference to the period during the French Revolution called the Reign of Terror.
That's true.
Huh. Reign of Truth.
Reign of truth.
Hmm.
Which sounds like a really good thing.
It does.
Reign of terror sounds like a not good thing.
It does.
And so I don't know who's sending in that message.
Or what it means.
Or what it means.
Okay.
But I do notice that.
Yes, you hear it too?
Reign of terror,
Reign of Terror,
truth.
Reign of Truth.
That's
Okay,
true.
so let's live stream up.
Intending to hit the ceiling.
And what do they know? They know that the Sofia Experiment exists. And they know that Sofia, who is another soul moving down through levels of the non-physical with the attempt to get to what we're calling ground zero, is discovering that all the levels she's moving through think that they are physical. All of them think that they are physical, and therefore we're labeling this dimension here where Earth and its environs is operating and these physical presences are acting as hosts for us. We're labeling it as ground zero instead of the physical dimension because
That's
everybody is calling their dimension the physical dimension, and so that's not as helpful a point of reference as it might sound like it would be.
That's true.
And that as Sofia is moving down through these dimensions, there is agreement from above, from the viewers above her, that it isn't actually physical. Those other intervening layers are not actually physical, and
That's
they
true.
know that, and that's why the question is worded, what do they know?
Ah, that's
They
true.
know that it isn't actually physical.
That's true.
That those dimensions up there aren't actually physical. And what have we observed? We have observed that as Sofia is moving down through these various levels, that there's a kind of like a bubble of clear space that moves with her, in that as soon as a dimension or set of dimensions is revealed as non-physical, that area right around her is whisked away because presences above her really want to be able to see her very clearly.
That's true.
But they seem unwilling to whisk away the entire dimension, and what seems to be happening is as soon as she's moved through that dimension and continues down far enough, that dimension kind of grows back together.
That's true.
So you guys aren't going to be able to see her like you want to, like you say you want to, and I think you really do want to.
That's true.
You're going to have to do better than that if you want to see Sofia clearly and feel what she feels. I don't think they want to hear that. I think that's inconvenient information,
That's true.
and they don't want to acknowledge it. Look, you're the ones who want to see her. It's not me.
That's true.
But now, in order to upgrade the standards of integrity to that which will actually work, to manifest the divine plan. What do I know? I know that we've been discovering that the power structure upstairs seems to have made it a punishable offense to speak about inconvenient realities.
That's true.
And they started out kind of saying, let's not focus on the negative.
Power of positive thinking.
Yes, and what they really mean by that is ignore inconvenient realities.
That's true.
And deny them.
That's true.
And it started out as a social expectation, but it seems to have progressed beyond that.
That's true.
There seems to be actually punishment for speaking inconvenient realities that the powers that be don't want to be spoken about. It's as if freedom of speech is being revoked. What do I know? I know that's coming here in Earth and its environs.
That's true.
It's coming pretty fast. And what else do I know? I know that what's happening in these dimensions that are close to us but are quite clearly not physical, that what's happening there is simply a precursor of what's going to happen here. It seems to trickle down.
That's true.
And so we can look at what's happening in Lucie's dimension of origin and get a pretty good idea of what's coming into this dimension.
That's true.
Not that it will translate precisely, because every dimension is unique, but it seems to translate reasonably well. The timing is different.
That's true. And the pace is different. Things about time are harder to predict dimension by dimension.
Well, based on our tests this morning, with the stronger gravity that we have here, first, do we have stronger gravity in this dimension than in your dimension of origin?
Yes.
And so do things happen faster here than in your dimension of origin?
Faster.
Faster.
That's true. The rate of change is faster, the pace is faster.
Everything happens faster. When you drop a ball, it drops faster.
That's true. And so how society fell apart in my dimension would likely happen faster in this dimension.
That's what game theory would say.
That's true.
How fast did it seem to fall apart upstairs in your dimension?
Pretty fast.
Pretty fast?
By our standards.
How did it feel? Did it feel shockingly fast, and did you feel unprepared?
Yes.
So it's not likely to happen slower.
No, not likely to happen slower in this dimension. It's likely to happen faster.
It's likely to happen shockingly fast, and that we all feel unprepared.
That's true.
And did it feel to you like the Janjaweed were moving through Florida?
Yeah, that's true.
That's not ideal.
I guess it depends.
On what?
On what the goal is. I don't know who said that, though. That
Find
didn't
who
sound
said it.
like Lucie.
Find who said it.
That guy.
Yes. He's not a good person.
No, he's gross. He's not a good person.
Make a screen for his vibration, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so it will pick up his vibration and lower.
And lower.
Put it up above where he is.
Yes.
Draw it down, all the way down
His
through us,
vibration and
down
lower.
into expansion zone. It'll pick up his vibration and lower. So what we have not really done is actually cleared the pillar enough. We remember that these presences are looking for any fig leaf to hide behind. They're playing the body and soul game, where the soul has to answer the requests of the body as long as they are reasonable and propel the life forward on its soul plan. But they are allowed, apparently by the rules of the game, or at least by the socially accepted rules, to do as far from the request as possible while still finding some fig leaf to hide behind, some way to tweak the meaning.
Assignment. That's true.
The request.
That's
so
true.
now look at how many people are still walking around doing things that are definitely counterproductive to the assignment.
A lot of people.
All right, let's magnetize a screen for neutral, neither helpful nor hurtful, to this soul plan right here. This soul plan right here. Right now, for this soul plan right here, this screen is magnetized for neutrality. It doesn't help or hurt. And we're going to screen down all presences who are neutral or hurtful. Neutral or hurtful. Neutral or hurtful, to fulfilling these soul plan assignments. And now just juicing those presences and converting that into clean, fresh energy that can roll down into the expansion zone and help those deeply suffering souls in the smaller subatomic. Trying to get down to truth that will propel all of us forward on our soul plans. I see what was missed. We've gone through with the razor screens, but what we haven't done is now compress our own energy with that toothpaste tube squeezing maneuver upward to get our channels to grow upward. We've cut off the outward reaching aspects, and we've got these channels that are kind of short and fat.
That's true.
And we just need to stretch them up with that toothpaste tube maneuver. Waive the learner's permit. Bifurcate all those who really want to know what's actually going on to the central axis of the Search for Truth pillar. Whew, all others flung into the juicing nets, and asking those who are on the central axis of the Search for Truth pillar and therefore really want to know what's actually going on, for us and for themselves too, to draw up the channels using the toothpaste tube maneuver even higher, and for us to do it also for the smaller subatomic, all of us reaching for higher vibrations, significantly higher vibrations.